And down. Ah, son of a... Howdy folks, Ryan Kalajay here, and welcome to an introduction to hog fencing. So this is my first video for the How to Hobby Farm series, and it's been a learning curve. So it's actually winter now, and we were filming it in fall, and we're just getting around to finishing it. Also, there's a little bit of information that we left out. So we're going to be cutting in and adding just a few little pieces of information that you guys might find helpful. And if there's any other questions, just go ahead and comment below. Thanks. So the first fence we're going to talk about is the pop-up quarantine fence. All right, the simplest and cheapest way to do this is to be using these hog panels. Standard hog panels, they're 16 feet long, 32 inches tall. I like the shorter ones so you can actually step in and out of them. And you just get them straight off the trailer and you give them a little roll so that they have some structure and will stand up all on their own when you unroll them. Careful. These are going to spring apart. But they are going to hold their shape a little bit, and you won't need to put in any fence posts. We've got a couple animals in quarantine fences right over here. Without fence posts, you're going to need a way to keep this fence down on the ground to keep them from digging underneath it. A couple pieces of plywood should be enough weight, and them little pigs ain't going to go anywhere. All right, people, so this is important information. If you do not fence your pigs correctly and you do not get them trained on that fence, they're going to be all over the neighborhood, and you're going to have mad neighbors, and you're going to have some real problems. The first fence that we talk about is a quarantine fence. That's going to be the first place you start. And if I'm bringing pigs to your farm, before I unload them, I want to know that you have a secure enclosure that these pigs are not going to be getting out and running all over the place. Once you have your animals established in their quarantine pen, then you're going to need to transition them to training on electric fence. The easiest way is to set up your hog panels on a couple of wooden insulators, and then connecting your entire hog panel to an electric fencer. Let's go back over to that quarantine pen and see how it's hooked up. So we have our electricity coming in from an overhead line here, and that's connected back to the garage to a 5-joule electric fencer. We have electric fence wire here that's running right on over to our quarantine pen. Okay, this is not on right now. And then we've got our panels set up on these wood insulators to keep it off of the ground. All right, the pop-up quarantine fence is just one way, and there's a lot of ways for you to secure your hogs. This is just a great place to start for people that have pasture-raised setups or that don't have permanent structures or barns or anything like that. You're going to need to be able to move them onto a pasture fence, which is what we use as a T-post and woven wire and a single hot strand on the inside of that. All right, the woven wire consists of, these are 330-foot rolls of woven wire fence that come in 4-foot lengths, and I just cut them in half because Now, pigs aren't going to be jumping out of this because they are going to have to go through the electric wire first. The T-posts are going to be set every 33 feet. So you're going to be using 12 posts for every row. And we're going to set a section up here for you so you can see how that goes. One post every 33 feet, which is going to be 11 steps. And let's grab our roll of woven wire. We're going to roll it out here and show you how to hook that on. All right, so instead of tying your woven wire to the fence, I like to just weave it through the openings. So literally just alternate. That should be pretty secure on there. Do the same on the other end. So if you pull this really tight, you end up with a pretty substantial woven wire fence. This is not what's going to be holding the pigs inside. You've already trained them to respect the hot fence panels. So we're going to set up a single strand of electric wire on the inside here. All right, so stringing electric wire is fairly simple. All you need is your fiberglass posts, and this is galvanized, and I'll show you the difference between galvanized and aluminum here. All right, the steel wire is a lot harder to see. So I prefer to use the aluminum wire because the pigs can see it a lot better, and I guess it also conducts electricity a little bit better. So you want your wire about, I think they say, snout level. So that's a little bit different size on different pigs, but I would say about a foot off the ground. Now you can actually see the difference between the steel wire and the aluminum wire, how much easier it is to see that aluminum wire. Another important part is your energizer, electric fence energizer or fencer. They come in a variety of makes, different powers. They're usually rated by mileage range. All right. The important part is the joule output. All right. You're going to need at least 2 joules for a small pen. They come as small as a half a joule, but those really aren't effective unless it's just a training pen. This one has a readout, digital readout, and it's telling you that right now it's okay, but it's not perfect. If it goes down closer to 1 or 0, then you know that you've got a short somewhere. Another really important part is this ground. You must have an adequate ground. Okay? Grounding rod should be 6 feet in the ground. All right? And here's our hot. Goes all the way on out to the field. Now that we have your pigs trained on a quarantine fence, and we've trained them on an electrified hog panel quarantine fence, you've gone and set up a pasture fence consisting of the perimeter woven wire and the interior single electric hot wire. This is going to keep your pigs secure from roaming around the neighborhood. Thank you for watching.